You got note. Did you find your note? Still looking.
Oh, no, my notes.
You're going to wing it. You're going to live on the edge.
I always live on the edge.
It's a dangerous place to live. Why would you live on the edge? You could fall. Maybe just visit the edge every now and then.
Why would you visit?
Because it's a little thrill, but if you live there, you could die at any moment.
And that's the real thrill. That's the real
the
thrill.
constant risk of
knowing that death comes like that.
It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time.
Hello and welcome to the 15th ever.
15th
ever.
Wow. I feel like that's some sort of like, I don't know.
It's not. It's not quite an anniversary.
No,
Feels like
15?
it should be, but it's not quite, is it?
Is there 15 years of marriage? Is that a thing? Or is it 25?
Oh,
Is 25
we're
the
not
first
married.
one? We're not married. I'm just saying that as a
Not
number.
technically.
No, not.
Do you want to know what
There's no-
15th anniversary is?
Yeah, is there like
What
a
the
name
typical
for it?
present for
Would
it
that be
is?
that bronze or something?
No, I don't know if it's quite bronze.
No.
We're not quite at bronze.
Lead. A lead anniversary.
It's crystal, I
What?
think.
What?
That's pretty good. That's better than bronze.
Yeah,
isn't it, really.
it's definitely better than
What are
bronze.
you going to get with bronze?
Crystal.
Welcome
Okay.
to our crystal episode. My name is Kross, and with me, as always, is...
S. Dot. G. Da, 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 S.
Wow.
Dot. G.
I don't know, you had your own theme music.
Nah,
The
this
show
is-
does. Like, we were having personal ones.
Well, sometimes you've got to think outside the box. How about that?
Wow.
I saw a
You
box.
just said that like it was so original. How about that? How about thinking outside the box?
Not so much outside the box. More around the box.
Nearby the box.
just where you can see the box.
On the edge
but
of
you're
the
not.
box.
That's where we live.
That's where we live. The edge of the box.
The edge of the box. That's
That's
like,
the real danger.
That's, I don't know. I've been there so long, it's not even danger anymore.
I just live this life now. This is my everyday.
That's how it is.
You don't know how I live.
That's how it is, man. The wrong step.
You don't know my story. Welcome to the A Wonderful Waste of Time podcast, the show where we look a bit deeper into the things that we like, love, or sometimes hate. Not necessarily hate. We have done hate.
I hate
You did soap operas.
Yeah. The right soap opera could be good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you
The
know
right
what?
soap opera could be good if it wasn't a soap opera, if it was just a drama.
Yeah, I guess so. But you know what? I feel like
If
what
it was
some
something
dramas
entirely
are.
different.
Some dramas are just poking into soap opera atmosphere, you know?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
Definitely. If a
some
soap opera
American
could
ones.
manage to capture good drama and make that everyday stuff, but that's never going to happen.
No, they
not-
just
that's not how it
overpack
works.
it, no.
And you wouldn't call it a soap opera then,
No.
you'd just call it a drama.
You just call it a drama. There we go. See, we're just we're breaking the barriers of what is
Bring it back. Define.
We're defining soap
Redefining.
operas.
Redefining the
Wow.
edge of the box.
Revolutionary.
That should be our overly
Is that the
wordy,
tagline? Is that the
poorly
tagline?
done tagline. A Wonderful Waste of Time podcast. Redefining the edge of the box. The most pretentious thing we could have as a slogan. That's bound to get a sponsorship. If people hear redefining the edge of the box.
How do you redefine the edge? Is that like finding it
That's
out?
how we get like a Loot Crate sponsor. Because it's the edge of the box. The edge of the mystery box.
I think who's got a box as their logo? Okay, well that no box.
Great.
There's got to be a box. There's got to be a box on the logo.
So the way that this works is I spin a wheel to decide which of us is going to pick a topic, and then I spin a list of categories to find out which thing that we're going to be talking about, sort of the wider topic between all different media stuff. Why are you laughing? Are you still thinking about categories? Every episode since that was like the second or third episode, and every one since then. Every time I say categories, you think about categories.
You see it, right?
I get it. And yeah, it's funny, but the fact that you just laugh in the background,
seriously, every time you say categories,
you fully lose it every time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the categories are:
is it degrees for cats or
how
degrees?
Feel, yeah.
Degrees in cats.
Whoa.
Could you be studying about cats and then it would be a category?
Oh, I thought you meant
the temperature of cats.
Yeah, see, I thought you meant as in
Degrees.
a temperature rating using cats.
No, the first time we talked about it, it became about cats with like university.
Yeah, of course.
degrees.
Yeah, that's it.
But you didn't think about the only one that's actually possible, and that's a degree in some kind of veterinary studies.
No, I'm thinking this again, bringing it to the edge of the box. I'm thinking a new way of measuring temperature
is with
using
the body
cats.
heats of cats.
What is? No, not even the body heats of cat. The types of cat. So you get like fluffy cats.
Oh,
right?
so instead
That's
of a
hot.
number system, you just describe it by what type of cat it would be.
Cat? Yeah.
That,
so if it was
what you've invented there is just a really, really non-specific, very unscientific way of deciding what the temperature is.
Yeah, no, because if it was cold, it would be like a naked cat. Well, I can't remember what they're called.
You've gone for more of a sort of guess.
No.
Picking a cat is like going.
No, it's not.
I wonder what exact temperature this meat is. Oh, it's a bit chilly.
You can't say any cat. That's what I'm saying. There's a specific cat for.
What's the coldest?
range.
Is it like a sphinx cat?
Yeah.
'Cause they've got no hair.
Yeah. No, it'll be a shivering sphinx. You know what I mean? It can't just
Shivering
yeah, because then you know it's
They
really
all have
cold.
alliteration.
There we go. Like Joss cold is the sphinx cat. It's just its own naked cat. Okay, that's cold. But a shivering one, that's real cold. That's like you ain't got nothing on. You're shivering.
What's the highest?
Highest for those fluffy fuckers. Like
What about the massive? fluffy
nah,
ones?
we can't.
Not
like
a
we
Mancoon.
can't use. Oh, Mancoon.
Massive
I thought he was gonna come
ones.
through lion's mane or something.
Oh no, I didn't know we were counting things that aren't. I thought we were just talking house cats.
Actual, house cats. Yeah, we'll go with house cats. We'll go with house cats.
Yeah, Mancoon then is like the biggest house cat.
fluffy. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, that'll be it. There we go. And
But
then
what's
if
the-
you
what's
say
the
if it's really
alliteration?
hot, would be I don't know a scarf wearing. Why is it red? I was trying to think of like,
a melting
one.
Mancoon.
There we go. There we go. A sweating Mancoon.
But mine had the alliteration. Melting Mancoon. Shivering Sphinx cat.
Yeah, sorry.
Are they even called Sphinx cat? That's probably not their proper name. That's what people call them. Can we spin this goddamn wheel?
Oh,
You can make cat
please.
noises while I spin it.
No, that's just
Go,
I don't know,
cat
actually, let's see.
noises, go!
Roar, because lions are cats.
Lions are...
Roar, meow. Meow.
That's the
laughing.
scale.
Yeah.
Stop.
Go.
Me.
Yes, because clearly I've talked enough already. I've spoken enough already.
I'm tapped out at this point. To be fair, being like literally about 10 minutes into the podcast is definitely the time to admit you've got nothing left.
Guys, I tried.
So let's spin the second wheel to
Is
find
this
out
for
what
the
category
categories
are we talking
cat.
about. We should add categories to the list and then we can just spend another episode talking about it.
Top 5 on categories.
We could do that as the top 5 episode.
See, this is why this is the crystal episode.
You know what the top like degree should be?
What?
Top cat.
Top. A study of the top cat is the top cat degree. Oh my god! Right. You're ruining.
But he hasn't had any training. But he's got a top cat degree.
You're ruining great top 5 material right now.
Yes.
Like
This episode's going to be nowhere near as good.
You know?
Right, let's spin the second wheel.
Right.
Cat noises go. And stop. Games.
Whoa.
Let's have a little look-see at my list to sort out what I'll be talking about. Go down to games. Everyone just hold on and wait there for a second. I know what I'm going to talk about now anyway. There you go, I'm done, I'm there.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
it. It
cool.
was 2 seconds.
Yeah, definitely 2. Done.
Everyone enjoyed that bit. It was a nice respite.
It was
while we
they
changed
were
subjects.
thinking. You know what they were thinking in that.
That was a classic segue.
What were the cats doing? That's what no one asked. What were the cats doing in that circle spin? Circle spin in the wheel spin.
Were they on some kind of merry-go-round? Did you just take a load of cats down to the park?
No, the cats were actually having an educated
just
discussion.
spin them round. That's how we'll have to do it.
Like, they were just whoa, no, we can't do that. There will definitely be some
We'll
sort
do a
of,
whole filmed episode, and the way that we'll measure it. The opening, instead of the wheel, we'll go down to the park with a load of cats.
Spin cats. We would so get sued for this. Someone's gonna really like cats and know that that's some sort of animal cruelty.
No, they'll love it.
Leave those cats having
cats
fun.
that like to live.
To be fair,
we'll pick cats that like to redefine the edge of the box.
Boom, boom. And if they fall off the merry-go-round, by going too fast or anything, they'll land on their feet because they're cats. There we go.
Also, 9 lives. Even if we accidentally kill one, it'll be fine. Can I just say, redefine the edge of the box sounds like a really good, shit tech company slogan. Just a thing that they say all the time, even though it
sounds
means
like someone's just created a desktop computer with curved edges.
Pick, a name for a tech company. Just, a bullshit name.
Just any name.
Just make up a...
Livewire.
Shit name. Livewire. Redefining the edge of the box.
Whoa.
Wouldn't you buy their product?
No.
Do you know what they make, though?
No.
Categories.
They're actually the scoring system.
They're the leading entrepreneurs in measuring degrees by cats. Alright, shall I start my topic?
Just one more, you get those smart meters. They create those, but... Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it just has little pictures of cats. It looks like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
So the game I'm going to talk about.
What's this game?
Grand Theft Auto.
Ooh, which one?
The general concept of.
Oh, okay.
The whole scope. I'm not going to talk about a specific one.
Yeah.
I'll give a little bit about everything.
Yeah. Because when you say the general concept of.
So the idea that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is that massacring digital people is healthy.
Oh, interesting. Healthy?
Is healthy.
Okay. Healthy for what? People who can't massacre
real
people?
Exactly. That is part of the point.
So am I just guessing that you've played a lot of GTA and then just imagine other people's faces on his
I don't necessarily imagine people's faces, but do you not think that there's something cathartic when you're angry about just killing fake people?
Do you know what? Yes. Yeah, no, I do actually. I do. I get where you, but I don't know. It's a thin one. It's a thin line there because I rarely ever go on rampages and Grand Theft Auto. I know. I feel like I'm playing it wrong half of the time, but it's been a long time since I've played and thought I'm just gonna try and see how many stars I'll get by just murdering everyone.
Yeah, no, I don't really play that either. I'm not one. For just I don't even do it as just a stress thing. I don't just get angry and then go, I'm going to go people on game. It's more just if I'm playing it, just driving around, not caring, breaking the law, maybe shooting some people, running people over, just sort of makes you feel slightly relaxed. It does make you feel a bit less I don't need to worry about anything. Even if I kill all these people, it's just a game.
Have you played Hitman?
I've not really played Hitman.
Right, because I picked this up the other day. This is the weirdest thing. And about 2 days ago, in fact, right? And I was thinking about that. Because you can't do that in Hitman. You can't, you can't go on killing rampages, right?
You could in Absolution, but it didn't really work very well.
No, there wasn't
I played Absolution and you can do that.
No, but you get your scores go down.
You're not rewarded for it.
Yeah, you're very much.
To be fair, you're not rewarded for it in Grand Theft Auto either.
No. I mean, in essence, you do actually get punished for it because the cops are after you and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Well, there is obviously, it's not just mindless in the sense of nothing happens. But in Hitman, I actually quite appreciate having to be stealthy and having to be a bit more calculated.
Yeah, so do I. I like that in games. I like games like Far Cry.
Yeah.
This is when I was talking about Watch Dogs 2. That's what I wanted from Watch Dogs 2. I wanted to be more stealthy, but it kind of got to a point where it wouldn't let me. I like having some level of tactics to what I'm doing.
So,
which you don't always necessarily need to have in Grand Theft Auto.
No,
you
you
can
don't
in
talk-
5.
Yeah.
In the rest of them, you pretty much don't.
No, like even if
It's just show up and shoot things.
Just show up and
in
shoot.
5, you can be kind of tactical.
You can. Okay, yeah. You've got the option to be more so, I guess. But
So I think we should come back to this because I need to do like the setup of the game
Go on.
and stuff
Go
like
on.
that and why I think it's a good game.
Yeah.
So I started playing Grand Theft Auto from 3, which I think a lot of people started from 3. So
is that the one after the overhead?
Yes, so that was the first like 3D sandbox. It's the first Liberty City game.
Oh, is it Liberty City?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to say by 5 is the only one I know because it's called 5 like that.
Yeah.
Everything else is
So
Liberty City,
the
Vice
first
City.
so the first one's 1. I don't know if 2 was 2 a separate game. There was London as well.
Yeah, there was London as well.
But they were both
2 and
top
London
down
was the same thing,
shooters
wasn't
that were
it?
essentially just about stealing cars and you could
Yeah.
run over people and you got chased by the
Really enjoyed them. I loved those ones.
Really?
You know?
I thought
really
they were
enjoyed
alright,
them.
but 3 was when I started getting into it,
Yeah.
and then I've played 3, Vice City, San
Yeah.
Andreas,
Yeah.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
And I've
And you
played
played the
Liberty
PSP,
City
yeah,
Stories,
yeah.
and I've
No,
played
no,
pretty much
yeah,
all
yeah,
of them
yeah.
since then.
Yeah.
But obviously the basic setup of it is, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
And you go and do some criminal stuff. And they always have stories and you do several different things. They're usually quite funny. Most of the point of it is to be like a satire on American culture.
Yeah,
it's
very much
made
so.
largely by... So the founders of Rockstar are English people, essentially being satirical
Scotland?
about... Yeah, based in Scotland.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're not... so they have 2 places. So they have one in Scotland and they have London as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're not just in Scotland.
Yeah,
But they're,
there's so
they're
many
very-
companies now, Rockstar.
Yeah,
They've got
sick.
places all over the world. But the basic idea is that what I say is the basic idea of all Rockstar games, which I've been told is incorrect, but I think it's true. Every single Rockstar game is about becoming famous and rich. Every Grand Theft Auto, by the end of it, you're sort of like infamous and you're super rich.
It's about becoming famous.
No, but that's what an ongoing theme in all of their games is. You eventually become... You're not trying to become, but you do become. Like even in like Bully, in Canis Canem Edit, you're a school kid who shows up, you start fighting all the other kids, and eventually you become the most powerful kid in school.
Yeah.
I.e. the famous kid in school.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you, you're the most popular kid because you've beaten the shit out of everyone.
Was Red Dead Rockstar?
Red Dead's Rockstar as well.
How did that go at the end?
So by the end of it, you get shot down because you're the most notorious cowboy that's like around. You have like the government after you because you've turned against them, as well as having all these different factions of cowboys coming after you as well. So essentially, in all of them, you do all these little things, and eventually it becomes so many people because of their broad scope of making sandbox games now. You meet so many people doing loads of side quests that eventually you've got all these people show up towards the end. And you're affected by all of these people.
Yeah.
So you're sort of collecting people along as you go through the whole thing. So it is kind of, there's a fame element to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like trying to be famous, a general idea of fame. I think that's part of why they call the company Rockstar. Because I think that's where that comes from.
What? Rockstars? They're famous. Oh my god!
They're generally got quite groundbreaking games. Like they push the boundaries quite a lot in general. But in terms of making games, Grand Theft Auto 3 was quite a big deal, and even more so, like San Andreas. The amount of different things you can do in it.
San Andreas.
5 is amazing. 5 is one of the first. Well, I don't know if it's one of the first, but it's definitely one of the first very well done versions of a sandbox game where you can play as several different people.
Yeah. The character
switch between different characters.
Still now,
it's amazing.
Like,
yeah. I've played for it a couple of times. I kind of want to play it again. You go into it, but it's just the fact you can just switch between them.
Yeah.
And it just
loads
into them pretty quickly as well.
That game 3 different ways over.
Yeah.
Like
I think I might have said in another podcast, I really love in that game that you can play as different characters and show up at different points.
Yeah.
But you can show up into a cutscene. Somebody's already been talking, so you can be Franklin, show up, and Trevor and Michael are talking, and then you miss part of their conversation because you chose to be Franklin when you showed up to the mission that all 3 of them could show up to.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
No, it's sick. It's sick.
And obviously, there's a lot of games that were sort of not imitators necessarily. There were imitators, definitely.
What?
But
Well,
there's a lot of
Saints
games
Row
that are
didn't
hugely
imitate.
influenced.
Saints
by
Row
it.
didn't imitate GTA.
Saints Row started off as an imitation of it and has become its own thing, which I really like.
Yeah, I am not the biggest Saints Row fan.
I like Saints Row 2. I think is exactly what I wanted Grand Theft Auto 4 to be, because it's just a fun. It's a fun version of it.
See,
Grand
if
Theft Auto
anything,
4 got really
that's the
boring
game.
when it
I
tried
think
to be
Saints
real.
Row's that's the game of mindless killing and really and actually being a lot.
Again,
more
I want to get back into this later on.
I'm
trying to
Sorry. I'm guessing you've got something.
So
there.
games like Saints Row, Sleeping Dogs, which is really good. Driver and Mafia.
I would argue Driver.
There's also they made a Scarface and a Godfather game. And they're both basically Grand Theft Auto.
No. Vice City is basically Scarface.
Kind of, yeah.
But
they did make a Scarface game.
I played it. I really enjoyed it. And the Godfather one as well.
Yeah, I liked the Godfather. I played more of the Godfather one.
Yeah. Same. I actually think I finished that one.
I liked that. That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of similar games, and even I was talking about Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is kind of similar. You can do similar things. You can get you have the police chasing you and stuff. It is just like a different version of a similar concept. Of being a criminal in a city. That's all the basic setup of Grand Theft Auto is. They can pretty much do whatever they want. They're just a criminal in a city.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's how they justify the.
We'll get to that. So there is a lot of. So the next thing on my list is the controversy. There is a lot of ongoing complaints about it. There's a lot of complaints about things that are kind of stupid and illogical, and clearly people that don't know enough about it to be complaining about. Like people saying that there's sex in the game, which there is, but there's not actually sex in it.
It's the most comical thing.
The first one that had sex in it was San Andreas.
Yeah, where you could pick up the hookers.
And you just going...
Absolutely hilarious.
No, you could do that in 3 as well. Actually, yes, true, there's been sex in all of them. No, I meant you could have girlfriends in San Andreas. And you could go back to their house.
Yeah. I didn't play San Andreas that much.
It would just stay... The camera just stayed outside the house. You wouldn't see anything. But it's it is a comical thing, really.
It is.
Because they just sit in the car and make the noises.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's actually hilarious.
There was a mod that someone made called the Hot Coffee mod for San Andreas that actually did have sex in it. And a lot of news reports and stuff were saying that there's sex in the game, and it's that's not true. Somebody modded it. That's not them, is it? You can't say that they did that. Just because they used files from within the game, they didn't put that out in the finished product. If somebody's tampered with a thing, then that's not what it is.
It's not even.
If I go and paint a pair of boobs on the Mona Lisa, it hasn't been porn all the time. Not that I'm really comparing Grand Theft Auto to the Mona Lisa.
I thought you was
maybe Grand Theft Auto 5.
I was supposed to go do that. If you're brave enough, please go and paint some boobs on the Mona Lisa, man. Yeah, man. And to be fair, we've got pictures of it now, so it deserves a little change up. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're going to miss the original. We've got pictures now. Digital age, wonderful.
There were also a lot of complaints, like you say, about the prostitution and stuff like that. Where I remember distinctly a news report of it being you can pick up a prostitute, sleep with her, then beat her to death. And my whole thing with Grand Theft Auto is you can do that. I can do that in real life. I choose not to.
Oh, thank you. My thing on that is you can pick up a hooker in real life.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm hoping people don't beat them to death after. That's just wrong. But going back to what I was originally going to say about this is how to justify it is, how can you complain about a game that's about a criminal doing bad things? It's a criminal. Yeah. They do. They're saying things. That they're criminals. That's like if they were saying, this is a normal everyday average Joe, and we're gonna make you play a game where you turn him into the biggest killer in the world. There is a little bit of a moral conflict there. You know, there is a little bit of a ground for you to be like, that's not right. You're telling them to turn anyone into. But no, what Rockstar have really cleverly done is they've introduced you into in every single story. They introduce you to a point where these people have been involved in the same thing. These are and they do it really well where they play on stereotypes of characters you'll meet in real life, and it's this is what these stereotypes do. It's obviously they don't sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive, whatever, but they don't overdo it. They just do it in the sense of, this is how we explain the story. This is how we set up the fact that it's like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, right? Like, if they didn't set up the fact that he was an assassin, you'd be like, what's going on? Why is this guy sneaking around just killing people, right? They gave you the backstory.
Where's the justification for doing this?
Exactly. Like,
yeah, without narrative, without context for any game, whatever you do makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
That's what context is.
Yeah.
If any game you just loaded up and it just had you just shoot people, then that would be weird, and I don't think anyone would enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's mindless. There's nothing to it. It's just, you're literally just killing people. Like, but there's a backstory to it, and thing with GTA as well is there's an option.
Yeah,
Like,
there's always the option to do it.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't remember a time in Grand Theft Auto where I've been made to sleep with a prostitute, made to then kill that prostitute. So all of those things are stupid.
Yeah.
But there are things that are okay that they make you do. There are strip clubs and there are missions where you have to go to strip clubs.
Yeah.
That ain't illegal. There are missions where you have to kill people because that's kind of the narrative of the game.
Job in a sense, isn't it?
It is constantly like the police are going to come after you the second you do anything.
Yeah.
And you do die all the time. So it isn't like there's no downside to it.
Yeah.
There isn't like there's always a backlash.
There is,
doing bad
especially
things
in GTA actually, because you know the bank robberies, even just the bank robberies. As soon as you pull off one thing, boom, you have to escape the stars.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a normal narrative for real life. You do a big job, there'll be cops after you, then you hide away for a bit, let the heat die down, and then you're back to it. Obviously, they've got to put that into a fucking game. They can't have you hiding out for fucking 5 years somewhere. Just waiting
kind of
for the start to...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then you load up another game called Safe House. Where you're just like... You're playing as the same character, but under a new identity. And you've had your hair dyed a different colour and grown a beard, and you just live in the middle of nowhere, and you've got to try and live normal life without letting it slip. You come up with like dialogue options, like a lot of modern like RPGs and stuff do.
Would you wait?
But you always have the option to just let everyone know what happens.
Yeah.
You've got to not press that button.
I was gonna say it could be like he's working at McDonald's or something. It'd be like the options are: would you like fries with that? Would you want a drink with that? I'm gonna stab you in the eye.
I'm part of an undercover program hiding my identity due to the events.
This game sounds mental. Creative.
So there's obviously a lot of like press and stuff about Grand Theft Auto and about all these bad things you can do. It's also constantly linked with kids doing violent things.
Yeah. Well, that solves anything.
It's linked to a lot of kids who have murdered people or school shootings and anything like that.
You know what's always funny?
They're always like, and they played Grand Theft Auto. It's like they probably also played Ratchet and Clank, but you're not saying, well, he killed everyone with a fucking wrench. That never gets brought up because it's a scapegoat to say that this is why the kid's evil.
Do you know why those things are? I don't know why people still pay attention to those things where it's like...
I don't think a lot of people do, but there are definitely some people.
Oh, they are. Because the fact they're still using these stupid arguments.
The fact that they still bother to say it's proof enough.
Exactly, it's proof enough. Someone's... Yeah. And it's like... Were there not school shootings before Grand Theft Auto?
Exactly.
Like, did these things not happen before?
I always think with anything like that, it's obviously going to... The kid's going to have done it anyway. You're just linking it to a thing to say that that's why. It's the Latin thing is ad hoc ergo propter hoc, which is A happens, then B happens, then C happens. So you think that A and B are what caused C. So it's like the linkage between things.
Wow, bring that back.
But it's the same thing. What was it called? The example I remember Tim ad hoc ergo propter hoc. The example I remember Tim Minchin saying is, I like it, I'm sure it was Tim Minchin talking about it in a stand-up, a basketball player wants to get the score of the game and be the hero, so he prays to God, and then he scores it, and then he goes, that's because I prayed to God. And it's like, if you hadn't praised to God and still scored it, you wouldn't have said anything about the having praised to God, because there wouldn't have been an A to go with B, it would have been just B to C. I think it's the same thing happening with anything like that, where they go,
He's done this.
There's a mental kid.
Yeah.
He shoots a load of people. That would be end of story. But, he owns a copy of Grand Theft Auto. We can link that to it somehow.
And he listens to
A
Eminem.
plus B equals C.
And he listens to Eminem. If you
listens to Eminem.
If you play Grand Theft Auto and listen to Eminem, you are. Like,
There was a similar thing with Call of Duty, and I'm not a huge
Yeah.
Call of Duty fan, but there's a mission where you go undercover in a terrorist cell.
oh, yeah.
And you go through an airport, and
then
the
you have
controversy was that you shoot all of these people in an airport. Here's what they failed to say in that, is that you don't.
No.
You are not made to kill anyone in the airport.
No.
The mission is to walk through the airport,
Yeah.
and you can shoot everyone because that's you
an
have
option.
a gun. It's
an option
like
there.
a thing. It's
you know
not
what's weird?
most things.
Because I feel like I missed that because I played it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But you didn't
where's
even know
the-
about
yeah.
it because you just did the mission.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I thought, did I miss something? Like,
And
no,
I think
definitely.
it's weird that it gets linked to these games specifically. And to go back to a game you were talking about earlier, Hitman.
Yeah.
I've never heard a report of like this kid murdered someone. It was because of Hitman.
And if
the
there was-
game Hitman is literally about murdering people.
It's a great way of doing it as well, actually. It teaches you some great things. If I was to
Exactly.
Well, no,
If
I have to follow
anything,
them around now.
That's the one that gives you techniques of how
gives
to
you
get away
actual
with
techniques,
it. Or maybe
yeah.
that's why those kids have never been caught. There's like a spate of people who've had chandeliers dropped on them and stuff like that. That's the kids have been murdering and they go, silent assassin. And they just get out of there. Those
So
kids
there you
have got
go,
away
kids.
with it.
There you go, kids. If you want to be a smart murderer, play Hitman.
But I think it's weird that they say this is definitely a problem. I think the complete opposite. I think that playing a game like Grand Theft Auto where you can kill people, and even if you do or you do whatever, I think if you had that as a tendency even, I think it would help stave it off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to... In no way is Grand Theft Auto going to train you how to kill someone. I think if anything, it just lets you get it out of your system.
It's like being a vampire that doesn't want to eat human blood.
It's like...
And so you suck on rat blood.
I was going to say you have True Blood, like the show True Blood.
Oh my god.
But
Okay.
you have rat blood. Would that work? I don't think. I think
yeah.
the point is it has to be human blood.
Does it? I thought it was
True
just
blood was like synthetic human blood. That's what I was going to say. That made sense.
Okay. And I was going off American Horror Story.
So they have rat blood in that.
Yeah, and I'm
They're
pretty sure there's
vampires.
something
Which
else as
series
well.
had vampires?
I think it's the last one in the hotel. It's the hotel
That's
one.
the hotel.
So,
I
think that's season 5.
I've watched about 4 episodes of the first series.
You know what? I really liked it. The clown episode ones. That season wasn't the freak show. Yeah, it wasn't
Freak show.
great. It wasn't great, but yeah, I do like it. But anyways, yeah.
I do think though that in general, any game like that where you can do whatever you want, or even if you're limited to stuff, I think there is something of getting out of your system in just being able to break all the rules. That is the point of games. It's escapism in general.
Exactly.
Why can't it be the negative kind of escapism as well, where if you're upset, you can go and you can just be like, oh, fuck everyone, and get it out of your system and emotionally move on.
Because they say boxing's good for stress relief, and you're basically...
Why is it okay to actually punch a person?
Rather than play a game where you're like, oh, cool, whatever. Totally. Yeah, but I think it's just something in society where new things have to be blamed on other things happening. It's like, oh, there's this new thing, and it encourages this thing that's been happening forever, but it's encouraging it, therefore it's bad.
Those kids with their Zunes.
Zunes.
That are the Windows version of iPod. You don't remember
What
that?
was a Zune? What's a Zune?
It was the Windows version of iPod. I just said that.
Oh.
I literally said it and then you questioned what it was when I just explained.
Oh, iPod.
These Zunes making kids forget what a Zune is.
Yeah, because I ever had one. I thought,
It's
an MP3 player.
It was
an
just
MP3 player.
It was an MP3 player.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It
cool.
was kind of the Betamax of MP3 players. It was like this is the brand. Then it failed because iPod became more successful.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah.
No, okay. Remember iPod? Well done, Steve Jobs.
And the people that actually made the iPod.
Yeah, but who are they?
They're not the face of this
Give
company.
me a name and I'll praise them.
To have
To be fair, I've watched the film, so I know someone.
have a nice reference to what I'm talking about with games. I was like in the show Spaced. It's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, Jessica Hines. It was directed by Edgar Wright before they all basically got into films afterwards.
Oh.
There's a bit in that where Simon Pegg's really annoyed and he's playing Lara Croft and he's on like the underwater temple level in I think the first game or the second game, one of the early ones.
Yeah.
And just letting her drown. and she says to him, what are you doing? Why is she dying like that? And she goes, well, I'm annoyed, so I want to watch things die. It's just like,
no, but it's real. It's real. It is.
It's just like, fuck everyone.
No, you know what? That's a very good point. Like, once you explain it, it sounds less like you're just going around, picturing people.
Exactly. It's not like...
and just shooting them. Although, I'm not going to lie, I've done that. I've genuinely been pissed off with someone.
But then,
playing GTA
have you gone out and murdered
face.
them afterwards? Silence.
I can't say. No, of course not. Like, come on.
Assassin. Somebody that you know have a chandelier drop on their head.
He uses a chandelier when
you've
got a perfectly great piano hanging somewhere. Nah. But that is, I don't totally get what you mean. It's like, it's stress relief to a certain extent. Even like FIFA. Well, I think FIFA probably would have caused more murderers. Seriously, I think it's caused more murderers.
I do think you get more stress with like sports games.
Yeah.
Because you feel like more of a failure.
It's a real competitive
some of that
thing,
like sports like the pressure of athletes. I do feel like you pick that up in playing the games.
Oh yeah, well when you get to like extra time and you got penalty and you miss it and you're like, what? No! Stop throwing pads about!
I always get annoyed with like skate. I like the skateboarding game. I like skateboarding games. I never got that annoyed with Tony Hawk's because it's kind of less realistic. But in skate, it's kind of harder to do everything.
Yeah.
So when things aren't working, it's just like, fuck! You really get annoyed with it.
And then, but it does, but it's when things go right though. How happy you feel sometimes.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Bring back to FIFA when you beat someone. And how happy you feel then. And then especially with someone who's pissed you off, just like, say you're playing with some friends and someone's pissed you off earlier, and you're like, fuck's sake, and they tell you, play FIFA. And you beat them. Yeah. How happy are you? I mean, how pissed will you be when you lose, but you win, stress relief.
Yeah.
And you haven't killed anyone. I get you what you mean.
Yeah.
It's almost like
I don't think FIFA is a good example of stress
It's not
relief.
because
I think it makes more people angry. Right. FIFA's the game that's probably destroyed more controllers world over than
TVs,
anything else. Yeah.
And TVs. I've witnessed. I've witnessed the TV actually being demolished by a controller and you're like,
really?
Dude. Yeah, man. Angry people. I know. Yeah. And you're like, what? People pay for these things. Yeah. Like, come on.
It's not worth it.
Oh, stupidness. But GTA, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You just get to shoot
you
someone in the
that
face.
Stress with it.
No. You just have fun.
You get annoyed, you just kill some people, and get arrested.
Even like the other things you could do GTA. Like, it's the whole point of games.
Playing pool.
Is exactly. Playing pool, playing tennis.
They're so developed, especially 5.
Yeah,
the amount of stuff you can do
actually
in that.
do. It's crazy. It is crazy. But like,
you can play tennis and do yoga on a fucking mountain.
Do yoga. Why are you like?
You can
do yoga.
There's two complete opposites in that. You can go hunting, and do yoga.
Yeah.
How fucking weird is that?
But how great is it?
Brilliant.
Like it is so good.
Genius.
It's so good. But
you can't play pool in 5. That's my only. I wish they'd
there not a
kept
pool
that in. No, I don't think you can play pool in 5. Can you?
I don't know.
Not off the top of my head. You played it in San Andreas.
Yeah. But I think if you was, I haven't played pool in 5, so I can't say for definite.
I don't think
I'm pretty sure
is.
If there was a pool bar, they would have made that an option. You can always check that.
No, I don't think there are. I could, but it's going to take a little while.
It's a bit long. But no, it just kind of brings you back to the basis of what games are for, though, isn't it? Like, games are to have fun, to release some stress, to, like you said, escape from the everyday mundane and kind of spark your imagination. So, that's what they do. That's what they're there for. That's why we play games. That's why a lot of people get really stuck into games sometimes because of extreme escapism. So,
just for reference quickly, there is no pool in Grand Theft Auto 5. They were going to put it into it, but then they took it out just before the release for some reason. I don't know, maybe it didn't work or something. Maybe they got rid of it. Who knows?
No. No Q.
What a great way to end the segment. We'll be back after this very, very short break where we'll be starting again with the wheel and find out who's talking about what. See you in a second. You disgust me.
No cue.
It's a wonderful waste of time.
Okay, and welcome back. So going into the second section, let's spin that wheel and find out who's talking now. Go. You.
Wow. That was an improvised piece, by the way. Just bring something back.
That was the improvised piece.
Yeah,
That's the title of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't name my improvised pieces. I just
I do.
let them be.
Just in things that you can't write down. You go, you hear these improvisation.
It makes it really difficult to
Because you sound like a dick if you try and say it as words. If you show up and you're like, have you heard that song Boodly Bap? You just sound like a wanker. You sound better if you go, did you hear that song Boodly Bap?
Oh, I see what you mean. Don't say it.
Yeah.
Spray it.
That's not what I said or meant. That was neither of those things.
I thought it was up. I thought there was a nail. I thought I got ahead, but there we go. All right.
There we go. Spin the second word to find out what category you're going to talk about.
All right.
Go. Comics/books/manga. Anything that could be on paper.
Books/manga. And anything that could be on paper, which could be like a love letter. Well, that's just...
Oh, yeah, no, not that. You've gone too far.
No. Right, well...
Pamphlets. I'll let you talk about a nice pamphlet that you found.
Pamphlet?
Pamphlet.
Oh, man, I hate pamphlets. I hate people give me stuff when I'm like, unless it's got free stuff in it, like, don't hand it to me when I'm walking out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not rude, and I won't say no to it, but it's like, we both know that I'm not going to...
Yeah, you both know I don't want this.
Yeah, like, especially if you're going to be preaching the Lord's message. Like, I don't go to church and mosque and synagogues for a reason. I don't want to hear what the Lord's saying right now, right? And I don't want to hear it when Kanye West is blaring through my headphones, telling me that Jesus walks. If anyone's going to tell me about the Lord...
I already know. Exactly. Tap on your headphones.
I've got the Lord's words in my ears. No, I
you just look at them and go, Jesus walks with me.
With me. Intensely going up to them. With me. Yeah. I want to talk about good writers. And like, okay, no, that's a still one, right? Basically, I've got two. No, I've just got two writers in mind in particular. Now they're both legendary writers. One's quite old, in terms of, I guess, where you in terms of era, and one's Dan Brown, more recent, right? First one's it's Wordsworth. So he wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah.
Amongst others, but it's that particular book that I wanted to talk about. And then Dan Brown, who there's two books of his, but they're all on the Da Vinci Code.
But you want to talk about two in particular.
Yeah, well, like the first one is The Lost Symbol. Like I just recently finished Inferno.
Yeah.
The Lost Symbol. Like, and I just like want to say, right. And this is with every kind of art form.
Can I just say, before you go into any of this, you mentioned For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not by Wordsworth at
It's
all.
not, I know. It's,
okay.
I know.
Hemmingway.
Hemmingway, yeah, thank you. I
just wanted to make sure before you go into it.
Totally.
Is it Hemingway you would have talked
it
about?
It was Hemingway.
Wordsworth
is a poet.
Yeah, that's why.
Look, I was going to go back to it. I was. But you know when you just like... You're
I just wanted to make sure there was no confusion.
I wanted to hold it. I wanted to hold it there. And I was going to bring it back. But, yeah, alright, Hemingway.
Hemingway and Dan Brown versus.
Well, it's
like
not,
Alien versus Predator.
No, it's not so much those two versus each other. I just wanted to like look at what makes a legendary writer, right? And everything's art forms are subjective. It's very subjective. But Hemingway is not a great writer. He's not a great writer. Like, I'm telling you, he's stale. He is stale. The way he looks at certain, like, the way he goes through his stories, yeah, it can be descriptive. And it can be quite, I won't say engaging. I think he's not engaging as a writer. I don't think he's engaging. He can be descriptive, but I don't think he's engaging. I think he very much dwells in his writing as well, like very much dwells on like too much of the not finer details, but the little things that really, that's like, you're just, no, I don't care, right? I like, just give me a good, and it's,
get on with it, Ernest, come on now.
Yeah, no, but it feels like that, it feels like that, it feels like that, and I'll call it Hemi. Because no, nothing goes with Hemi. I was trying there. Oh, I call him Hemi because he's just too out of the way. It's terrible.
Nothing.
Absolutely
nothing.
terrible.
Swinging.
Absolutely terrible. That was so bad. Like, I called him Wordsworth first, and now like Hemingway doesn't work in life. That's terrible. I've just like ruined his name. I'm so sorry, but you are a terrible writer.
One of the most famous authors of all time.
And this is what pisses me off. And Dan Brown got Da Vinci Code, and he will go down as one of the greatest writers of our era. I feel like he should. Because you don't like Dan Brown's work?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think a lot of the things you've just said about Hemingway are things that I think about Dan Brown.
That is so interesting because I think Dan Brown is such a captivating writer. Like, and I like the way he, especially the Da Vinci Code series, I like the way he approached it because I love history. And like, you could tell he definitely like, he does a lot of like background on what he's talking about because he's talking about, I think he does. I think like he's not just making up like half of the conspiracies. Conspiracies can be made up. I don't think he's making up the evidence that he puts behind it, as in like the links he makes, the connections, the stories. They're all so interesting, especially Inferno, that looks very deeply into Dante's Inferno, and the parallels are amazing.
Yeah,
parallels are amazing in it. But his style of writing, it's thriller. You know, it's like you read it and you're like, yeah, this is cutting. You know, like this is something's happening, there's suspense in it, but then you're cutting to the next thing. You're not holding me too much on this one little bit. You're bringing me to that point of the story, and then this point of the story, and that point of the story, where Hemingway is very much no, this point of the story, and then we'll divert to that point of the story. You know, this is something else is going on. Then they're sitting in a cave and they're talking, and he's calling a little rabbit, and then they have sex. Oh, it's all so beautiful. No, he dwelt. Oh, seriously, it's like. That scene, there's so in For Whom the Bell Tolls, the story is a soldier who is in the Spanish Revolution, I think it was, and he basically links up with some rebel groups, and he's working for, I think, the Americans at the time, but he's also got to work with
Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, Spanish Civil War, that's one. But he's also got to work with some of the locals, and the project they were working on at that moment. This point I'm talking about was they were aiming to blow up a bridge, and there was a lot of conflict. Like, seriously, it's so long to explain, man. Like, so there was a lot of conflicts within the camp themselves, and then like obviously he's got this conflict between his interest. And
this is a confusing explanation in that you're saying that he dwells on things too much, like there isn't enough story to it, and then you're saying there's too much story for you to explain.
No. That's what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is I'm explaining it this quickly, but he took so long to get to this explanation. So no. I didn't mean there's a lot for me to explain with regards to there's a lot for me to say about it. I'm saying he said a lot on what I've just summed up in about 5 sentences. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, that point in the book was like way deep in there, and I'm like, come on, you've just given me like what? You've given me what? Like, you've given me these 3-4 facts, and you've stretched it out this much with a tiny bit of a backstory about the city. Piss off. I'm sorry, but that's like 100 pages. He could have done that in 100 pages. He could have done that in 100 pages, done it well in 100 pages. As Dan Brown done. I'm sorry, Dan Brown, he was able to do in about 200 pages what Hemingway's taken about 300 to 400 to do. This is my point, right?
So the thing that you're more looking for is the progression of the story.
But is that not what makes a good writer? Is that not what makes good storytelling?
Not necessarily to everyone.
Oh yeah, and like I said earlier, it is a subjective thing. But like him, okay, this is just me just being like
I
doesn't
haven't read
deserve.
Hemingway to know that. To have anything against what you're saying about him.
I think he's a
general.
very still writer. I think he's like the very still is so. That's just like I'm just being a little bit too passionate about this right now. I'm all Dan. I'm Team Dan Brown right now, basically. And I'll go to Dan Brown in a second. I just wanted to break down why I don't think Hemingway deserves. Like more so because I feel like he's gonna go down because he was an older writer, because he was an era where writing was more treasured. He's gonna go down in history.
He already has.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to defame him right now. But he already has. But Dan Brown, as a writer, I feel deserves that same status. But he will never get to that same status because he doesn't write about romance as much. And for some reason that does
People enjoy that.
Yeah, and and it's a shame. It's a shame that thrillers aren't looked at, because thrillers don't get as much recognition as, and when you're a great thriller writer, you're creating a lot of suspense in a book.
Yeah, so that in the book is quite interesting.
That is a really hard thing to do, like creating suspense for what someone is reading, and you have to because it's what you have to do is give someone enough to create that suspense for themselves. Right? And the romance, and this is why Hemingway, I think he does well with romance because he's able to dwell on it and he's able to really prolong the feeling and really drag out that. And I don't feel that because I'm reading. I don't want to drag that feeling when I'm reading. I don't want to feel like I'm slogging through something when I'm reading. I don't it's like watching a film, right? The slow moments should have something to them. It shouldn't just be a slow moment, right?
Yeah.
Hemingway is about 400 pages of slow moments with decent description, which for me doesn't really matter too much because I've already got the image in my head. I've got that image, and thank you for the description. Maybe it does enhance it in a sense, but because I can create those same images, and when I'm reading Dan Brown, I'm not too sold on your description. I'm not too sold on.
Do you not think though that it's slightly a testament to the fact that you remember anything about what is essentially you're saying isn't a lot of story? And it's something you know nothing about that you're remembering compared to Dan Brown, which essentially could be flicking through an encyclopedia, picking things. No. Because it skips around through a lot of different things. As much as saying they're research. Do you not think that there's more content for him to put into it in the first place?
Who, Dan Brown?
In the Da Vinci Code and stuff like that. Okay. Because it's about all these existing things that you know about. You don't need any description of them.
Whoa. Hemingway's writing about Civil War, the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah, exactly.
How much context do you need?
You've got no, but you do need context. Because you know what the Mona Lisa is. You don't know what a bridge somewhere in Spain during the Civil War is.
In that sense, maybe Hemingway has got maybe a little bit more to do. But let's be real. How many people do know about the Knights Templars or
quite a lot of people. The Templars themselves.
Oh yeah, okay. They'll probably know the name, but they don't know the inner workers, the conspiracies around them, or whatever. Maybe you'll know about the Templars because when we're in school, we get told that the Queen had whatever. But
also Assassin's Creed. So most people know.
Fair enough. Yeah, see, okay, yeah, and actually that would give
from
me
other things. I've never played any game, seen any film, or read any book about the Spanish Civil War.
Okay. Well, one, there was a film made of the book, so there we go.
I don't want to shock you. There were films made about the Da Vinci Code.
Look, yeah.
They had a little known actor called Tom Hanks in them.
Yeah. Is that little was in a height reference?
Yeah, because he was Woody in Toy Story.
How does that? What?
Little height reference.
To,
It was a
but
toy.
that's to Woody. That's what? Like, that joke went everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
I'm on different levels. Several at the same
know where
time.
you are.
I don't know what level I'm
You know where
on.
you are. You're on the edge.
I'm
redefining it.
I'm redefining
You're
the edge of the box.
redefining that edge right there. But look, I don't know. I don't know how much reference you need to a civil war. You know, like I don't know how much because like say this. If the reference was he was giving me the background of how the war kicked off, like which he roughly did, where he explained the two sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and he covered that a tiny bit. But it didn't give me that much of a reference point for me to be like, I can tell you the year of the Spanish Civil War, the presidents or the local communists or whatever that were involved in. I couldn't tell you any of that.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you that reference point. I can give you the reference point of the story that he told me. But when we look at Dan Brown, I could give you the story, and I can give you more about Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
You know, I could give you more about like the paintings and the secret messages in some of all the galleries and museums in Rome, or you know what I mean. Like there's Venice. Sorry, that was that. I think they were actually visited Venice in Inferno, and then they're talking about some specific sites in there. Like so,
Don't remember.
okay, go.
Is Inferno not the one about the Vatican?
No.
Which one's the Vatican?
I think that.
Angels and Demons.
Yeah. That's
Carry on.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Which
One had Ewan McGregor in it.
I
only read some of the first book, and I didn't enjoy it.
Even that as a reference point to be like, look, this one was about the Vatican. This one gave you all of this information about the Vatican. Whereas the Lost Symbol was a little bit of a segue from the usual. It did have a lot of.
That's more like technology based, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Lost Symbol was very much based on this one guy's drive for revenge, rather than kind of a wider kind of conspiracy theory to save the world or whatever in someone's view. This one was kind of one man's revenge plan against his dad. It was very
so less global, character. More like a.
I mean, there was still the global threat element to it, but like it was a
personal thing,
more so.
Not like trying to take down a society. Like
Whereas Inferno, great
gain.
You know what I love Inferno,
that's what
right?
Demons is, isn't it?
Angels and Demons.
He's not trying to take down the Vatican. It's more to boost himself up.
Yeah. But whereas I think Da Vinci Code was less personal, and Inferno was less of a personal thing. This was more like conspiracy. But no, actually, Inferno. No. Let me bring you into Inferno now. Inferno was about. It's amazing. So it's talking about this movement called transhumanists. What they believe is, as humans, we've come to a point in our evolution that we actively are a part of our evolution. We are creating stronger, smarter human beings. Even that, he could have written a book just on that.
That's interesting. That's a concept I think's interesting anyway.
Really interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then he focuses on that to look at one particular. So this is taken away from Dante's Inferno. We're not even looking at what he built the whole book around. Let's look at the main storyline and the main protagonist, right? So. It's one. He's like the Einstein of this generation. You know, he's thinking way forward than everyone, and he does believe that humans are, we are a great species and blah blah blah. But he also believes that we're overpopulating the Earth. Yeah, and he looks at. It goes through all of the some studies that say the same thing. It goes through kind of a thought process for it. And it was like, you're like, wow. I was reading this, I was like, wow, we are overpopulating this motherfucker. Like, we are overpopulating Earth right now. Because it gives you the arguments. It gives you a lot of context. Yeah. Right? Anyway, so the guy believes that we're overpopulating the world, and he wants to come up with a solution to fix that. Right? Now, spoiler alert, Initially, he wanted to work with, they're called the WHO, the World Health Organization. No. Roger Daltrey. No. He didn't want to save the world with music. He didn't want to sit, no. But anyways, he went to approach them for a solution. You are going to start. For a solution. And they... Oh, it's a good song.
So I think the problem you're really getting at is that people try to put us down.
No. Anyways,
Just because we get around.
Anyways, you're not going to turn this into a woo song.
What about Pinball Wizard?
He approached the World Health Organization with a solution. They were like, "No, you're a madman." So he done what madman would do.
Yeah.
He created a virus, basically. But beautiful ending. This is the spoiler alert, by the way. His virus don't kill anyone. It literally solves the problem. It just solves the problem.
How does it solve the problem?
He created a virus that goes basically airborne viral that stops. I think it was like 30% of the population from ever having babies.
Why do I know this plot?
There's a film of it, so you may have caught.
Maybe I've seen the film.
You may have caught the film, but I mean, like, but even that, like, and that's the story. That's just the story, right? And within the story is the fact that they've got Robert Langdon, who's obviously the main guy.
That's Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
Robert Langdon.
guy. Yeah. They've got
Woody
him
from Toy Story.
Yeah, Woody. Okay, they've got Woody in. I would love if they actually got Woody.
It's just Woody from Toy Story doing all this stuff.
And they got him in to basically to find out how this guy's gonna to release his virus, because he's left a trail, as all mad scientists do, leaves a trail to tell people what he's doing, blah blah blah. But that's where the infernal side of it comes in. It's the trail, it's the path, that's what he used to put his message out. So what you've then given me now is, one, a great story, two, an educational process, because they go through Rome, they go through Venice, and when they're in all these places, they're going through all the historical venues. You know what? All of this alone, this is why Dan Brown's. I don't even need to keep going, because this is why Dan Brown's better than Hemingway. He gives me more. It's simple as that. Okay, I say better than Hemingway. Remember, this is a subjective thing.
Yeah,
you know,
this is why you prefer.
Yeah. So I don't want to. Yeah, there is no better when it comes to, you know. I mean, obviously there's pure trash artists in every platform. There are people who are just trash, but we're not talking about that. This is all subjective. They are both great writers and all right, but I feel like Dan Brown just gives me more. Gives me more of a story in a shorter space of time, which it's harder to do. Yeah, you're describing more in less words. That's harder to do.
So I had a couple of things to say in general, but I have one that's to do with this. So throw that in now.
No, throw it in.
If you were interested in the Spanish Civil War, and you read that book, that's entirely about the Spanish Civil War.
Wouldn't have given me much.
But that's what it's about. Whereas in Dan Brown's books, if you were interested in one aspect of it, you wouldn't really get that much in depth about that aspect.
You would, but that's the problem. You would really not. Okay,
there's so many different things.
Actually, in that,
it's kind of picking and choosing like the best of the interesting parts.
In that, actually, if your interest was Dante's Inferno, you would get a lot from that book.
But wouldn't you get more from Dante's Inferno?
Well, that's no,
I'm joking.
What do you get more from reading the history of the Spanish Civil War? You know, like
why read the book about the book? Read the book.
Well, you can read the book. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, but if I read Hemingway, I mean, and I do remember there was a bit where he went through in the book. He went through the history of a specific city. And he talks about, this is what I don't want to, I've probably, I've already got his name wrong anyways, so I don't want to just keep misquoting, but I think he was talking about the locals, the gentry. I think they were communists, in the town, and it talks about the differences and the clashes that came. Yeah. So it gave you a bit of this is what's happening, but no, it was very much these are these people's story. Yeah, that's all it was.
Just about the specific
It's just about the specific people. It's about the project they were about, the mission they were about to carry out, and then their journey within carrying out that mission. There's nothing wrong with that. But Dan Brown was able to give me the same thing, and also school my ass in Dante's Inferno, and also, and like one thing I love about Dan Brown, he pays homage. Like when he's writing about anything, and he's going to use a specific place or whatever, he pays homage to that. He will talk about the local landmarks. He'll give you a bit of the history. He'll give you some context to go along with that. Hemingway's just giving me stories about people in a specific... Like, okay, cool, do that. But I'm getting more from Dan Brown. But Dan Brown's never going to be recognised for that. He's not going to be given the same platform as Hemingway because we don't appreciate writers no more.
This is one of my other things I was going to say is the era does make a huge difference in what's going to be memorable.
Yeah, it does.
Because books are far more accessible now. Then a popular book would be a book that everyone read because a popular book got sold in more places.
Harry Potter, for example.
There are so many books.
Yeah.
There are so many books that get published. It's so easy to get books. You can get books digitally. It's going to be very hard for any writer to be that level.
Yeah.
Because you've got so much option.
So you say that?
There are there's hype
like,
train for everything.
Yeah.
There's always going to be, like you say, Harry Potter. There's always going to be
I was going to go
a book that gets picked up and then loads of people end up reading it. It has a snowball effect.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what it necessarily is with older things. It's
just, what's the shame with that?
That was your options. And that was the one that everyone knew.
Have you read the Harry Potter books?
No, I don't like Harry Potter.
Okay, cool. Have you read any of the books?
All three things that we've been talking about, I haven't read any of these books.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I've read the Harry Potter books. And J.K. Rowling is a good storyteller. She's not a great writer.
Yeah. With Dan Brown, so I did try to read Dan Brown.
Yeah.
I started reading the Da Vinci Code. So, as much as you're saying there's a lot of story and stuff like that, and I've seen the films, I find his writing itself really boring. Not the story. Like, a lot of what you're saying you like is the story, not necessarily the writing. Whereas I find his writing kind of boring. His descriptions of stuff, as much as you're saying he talks about a lot of different things, and I get that that's quite interesting, I find he's just, the writing itself I found quite boring, so I didn't end up reading it.
Okay.
So just the way that he'd describe things just felt like really, I don't know, just boring.
Yeah, I think maybe... I don't like over-descriptive people.
I don't read.
I think maybe it is.
So there is a lack of description for me.
Yeah, okay.
There are bits where he'll be, the room was big, and I'll be like, were you 3 when you wrote this?
Yeah.
That really doesn't do it for me.
That bad.
No, but stuff like that doesn't. I prefer the flowery
Read everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer...
You want some long dragged out explanation for things. Read everywhere.
I don't always enjoy reading necessarily in general anyway. I'm quite a visual person. So unless you're telling me how things look, it doesn't always do it for me.
But I'm like... Because
someone like Raymond Chandler, that, for anyone who's listening, that's the kind of writer that I enjoy reading.
Cool. What was he?
So he wrote Philip Marlowe books. They're like detective books.
Yeah.
Like very noir, crimey.
Yeah, so thriller.
They're thrillers as well, I suppose. Yeah.
Alright, so that's a good. If you can bounce that off from Dan Brown, that same genre.
But the way that he writes about things is so much more interesting.
Yeah,
and obviously I'm a writer as well, so
the
way that he describes things. There's a specific line from Farewell My Lovely, I think, that has always stuck with me. I named a song after it because I like the way he described something. So there's a line where, I can't remember what it is he's actually talking about now, it's been a while, but there's a bit where he's talking about 2 people, and then there's a bit where he's describing a woman, and then there's a bit where he's talking about her legs, and he says it's something smooth citizens. And it's just like, it sounds like he could either be talking about her legs or them as people. I've always liked the phrase smooth citizens since. I just like little things like that where the descriptive stuff. That's what appeals to me.
I think Lost Symbol and Inferno were quite descriptive, actually, for me, because I got really good images of the characters, if you get what I mean. Like in a Lost Symbol, I can remember now that the main bad guy was a really big guy. I think he had tattoos. He was bald. He had some piercing blue eyes? You know what I mean? Like there was things that really stuck with the way he described them. And the reason I don't like over descriptive people is I think that limits what I can do with a book. If you know what I mean, like
it limits your sense of imagining.
I'm like, oh, you've given me too much here.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, and it's like I feel like it gets to a point where you've given me so much that if the image in my head, I feel like the image in my head isn't matching up. You know what I mean? So
I get what you mean with that.
Like
that's part of why I like comics, because I feel like you look at what the room looks like, but you imagine what everything sounds like, what their voices are. You imagine like how it feels to be in that room.
Yeah, that's yeah. Comics
Yeah,
are,
no, I get
comics
what you
and that.
mean.
But yeah, that was just what I wanted to kind of just get on, was just like, it's a shame that there are, at this moment, in my view, really good writers who will never be on the same platform as someone like, you know, Hemingway or Wordsworth, you know, even the Shakespeares of those generations, you know what I mean? But like, there will never be those anymore because, one, yeah, it is saturated. It's like how many people, you know, I can literally go and post, like, you know, publish a book on Kindle or something, or Amazon, Amazon Kindle tomorrow, you know, like, it's become that easy. But it doesn't mean that these writers of this generation aren't on that platform or on that level.
Definitely. There
Like,
are probably so many really, really good writers that completely overlooked because
even now,
because people end up reading like Twilight and stuff like that, and anything that's been adapted, even if it is good. Like I can't say I've read that to say whether it's good or not. So like that, Shades of Grey, we talked about True Blood earlier, the books that was based on.
Was that a book or...
That was books before it became a TV show.
I would have thought that was a comic
what's her name? Marlene Harris, I think the woman who wrote. Anything like that gets picked up is always going to overshadow what could potentially be. It doesn't mean that they're bad and the other thing's good.
Of course not. Although
it's just a tension, isn't it?
I do feel though Hemingway is a little bit just over. Like I don't get it. I don't get the hype.
The quote that I was trying to say from Raymond Chandler is actually from The Big Sleep, not Farewell, My Lovely.
Okay.
Can I just read you the bit and why I like it? So it says, "She had lovely legs. I would say that for her. There were a couple of pretty smooth citizens, she and her father." It's just stuff like the way that's written is just very... It feels like his mind. It feels like you're reading as Philip Marlowe and he's being distracted by her legs while he's trying to work his job. It feels like he's just going, look at her legs, and that's what you know what I mean?
Nice.
I like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So just throw that in there quickly.
Yeah, no, but even I'm gonna fight Dan Brown's case here because you said like you didn't find him extremely descriptive.
Yeah.
And like there's this because in Inferno, the character, the main bad guy, he leaves a poem behind that very much describes what he's trying to do. And why he's done it. And that's just extreme because he's using like imagery from Dante's Inferno, matching it to specific locations as well. And it's like it's a beautifully written poem, but it had to be descriptive in a sense, and it is very coded. So it, like even that as a testament to his, to how well he can write. I think it's quite.
This is a poem that one of the characters has written.
Yeah. So
this isn't from Dante's Inferno.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It is an epic poem.
That's what I'm saying. No. The poem was written, but it was using the imagery from Dante's Inferno and stuff like that. So it wasn't. No. Like, you can't just claim his work and be like, this is me. Nah, and even that though, the book gave me a lot of background to Dante Inferno and that kind of, was it Dante Alighieri or something like that? I can't remember. I don't know. But even just the background of kind of him being exiled. He was exiled from his home city, and like he had a long lost love who married another man, and those two things were very present in Dante's Inferno. But if you didn't know that backstory, you wouldn't have really.
I'm going to pretend I know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Alighieri.
Cool. That sounds better than how I pronounced it. Like, a lot better. Well, like, given that context, that background within, because I wouldn't have known that. Yeah, I could have read Dante's Inferno and still not.
I wonder what it would be like to read Dante's Inferno for you and then read it again.
Yeah, well,
there is a lot of stuff.
I would appreciate it.
There is a lot of stuff with Dan Brown that I've seen online, and even just trying to Google things to check you and to back you up for stuff.
Yeah,
there is a lot of things that come up about him being inaccurate. There's a lot of controversy towards a lot of it being like not that research, especially you're saying it feels.
Yeah,
like
it feels, and I think. Maybe part of that, because I haven't researched enough into what he's saying to be like, he's definitely right.
Yeah.
But for me, it's very captivating, and it's like, he's not writing an historical book. Let's just keep that.
Yeah,
in mind.
yeah.
I mean, he's writing
yeah.
so
It's fiction. That's the point.
Yeah. And so I can read it and be like, yeah, this is really interesting. But for me to be like, this is definitely what happened, I would have to research into the history of it.
Yeah, but I just think it would be interesting if you did then research it and then read it again.
Yeah, no,
if it would still have the same appeal if you knew that some things were wrong.
I think it would. Because I appreciate him. Because the thing is, he's introduced me to these things.
Yeah.
He's exposed them to me. So right or wrong within how he's done it, what anyone should do if they really were that interested to find that he was right or wrong is they would read up on it.
Yeah.
They would now learn for themselves. And it's not Dan Brown's job to teach me. He's not my teacher.
It's not an educational book.
Exactly. He's entertainment. But I've taken more from him. Same way, like I said, I take more away from Dan Brown than I do from...
It's making you interested in these things. That is definitely a positive thing.
There we go. Like, seriously, there's a lot of museums and galleries that I can't pronounce that I want to go to now, thanks to Dan Brown. It's, you know, like... And that's one thing you can't get wrong. Because, like, these are actual locations. Like, you can't tell me something's wrong when I get to Rome and it's not there. Because then we've got issues.
Then I'll find Dan Brown. Take back everything.
Yeah. He's not getting my praise after that. You know what I mean? Like, nah. But, yeah, I just think it's a shame. But, Dan Brown, better. Fuck anyway.
We need to wrap up there, I think. Yeah, we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Is there any shout-outs you want to give?
I'll shout out... what's that long epic book that I still have not read? Love and War?
Dante's Inferno?
No. Is it Love and War? Is that what? Because I always get it wrong if it's Love and War.
I don't know what you're talking about.
War and
so
Peace.
How would I know?
It's the
War and Peace is the book?
Klitsch, what is his name? See, I can't even get his name right as well, the Russian writer. The Russian writer.
War and Peace is Tolstoy.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
You sound like you were going for Klitschko.
No, I was. I was thinking boxer, like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Tolstoy.
You're going to shout out the book War and Peace.
War and Peace, right. Why I always think love? I think it's like, because I hear war.
Eat, Pray, Love, that's what you're thinking of.
No, I hear war. And I instantly think love. Like, love and war, they're just two things that go together. But, War and Peace. War and Peace by Tolstoy. I can't even say his name
Tolstoy.
properly. Say it again.
Tolstoy.
And then say War and Peace.
War and Peace.
By
Tolstoy.
There we go. Check it out, people. I still haven't finished it. Like, seriously, I've tried so many times. But it's a really good book.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm genuine. And he does what both of them do very well. He gives me a lot of historical background, a great story.
It's sort of in between the two of what you're looking for.
Perfectly in between, and he's a great writer. His writing style is really good. So there we go.
My shout out, I talked a lot about games. You pointed out that Rockstar have a lot to do with Scotland as well.
Yeah.
Made me think of, there's a Scottish games company. I don't know that they are Scottish, they're definitely based in Scotland as well. The company's called No Code, and the game's called Stories Untold.
Wow.
It's been pointed out that the intro is kind of Stranger Things-y. It's got like a sort of old vintagey vibe, but it's these like very interestingly done. They're point and click, but not like walk around point and click. It's more like sit at a desk and do a thing type of point and click.
Okay.
They're just super interesting. It's 4 stories that all link together. It's called Stories Untold. The first one was called The House Abandoned.
There we go. No code.
That's it.
Stories Untold.
Stories Untold.
It's a lot easier to say than Tolstoy.
Do you want to plug your social
stuff?
stuff?
I still can't say Tolstoy.
Stories Untolstoy. Social plugs. Go.
Social. Facebook. Nah. SoundCloud. Mr. Souls. Go.
Not Facebook.
No.
SoundCloud. Mr. Souls.
Yeah. Oh wait. I am going to bring out an EP. You know, I never know what to call it, if it's an EP or a mixtape, you know.
It's
an EP,
one of those. It's a
EP,
demo tape.
It's a demo tape, really, yeah. Most of the beats are produced by my great friends, Andy Chellam, who's a sick producer. Check him out as A_CH SoundCloud. Other producer will be Matt Hellard, also another really talented producer, actor, and just general good guy. I don't even know what his SoundCloud is now, actually. He used to be Fresh Chills, but I don't know what he calls himself now. I know. It wasn't a real... We used to call him... actually, no, it's Fresh Juice, right? Fresh Juice, not OJ. Anyways, yeah, those are the two main producers on that EP. The EP is called Pure Unabashed of West Predicaments. One of the songs out right now, that's why I said SoundCloud, Mr. Souls. Ha, ha, I'm winking. The ha, ha was winking. Yeah, so go check that out. The EP will be out mid-June. Not giving you a date yet because...
Just say June then.
June.
Might not be mid-June.
It may
just
not be,
June in
could
general.
be latest June.
If you want to hear more of me, go onto YouTube and search Renegade Pineapple, and you can watch me play Let's Plays. We've been playing Ratchet and Clank. Just started. That's just come out.
Sounds very mechanical. That was a terrible joke.
Yeah, totally.
Like every other one I make.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, go onto our Facebook or Instagram or SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube. We're everywhere. Look into it.
Look in your cupboard.
Share us with your friends. Get more people involved and get more people listening so they know about what we're doing.
Cut us up.
Not us as people.
No, because
just the concept of us.
Yeah.
You can like and subscribe and comment. Tell us what you think about things we've been talking about. Give us a review on iTunes if you enjoyed it. Do you have a question of the day, sir?
I was going to say, actually, this is just a really normal one. What's your favourite Arthur?
Arthur.
What's your favourite Arthur? Yeah, that's a better one.
Who's your favourite
Arthur? Who's your favourite Arthur?
Mine's Arthur.
What? Oh, the Aardvark.
Yeah.
Not the king.
Nah.
How many more Arthurs are there? You tell us.
Yeah,
you tell us.
Who's your favourite Arthur? Get that in, definitely. Write that wherever you are and we'll find you. Not wherever you are. Write on one of our pages and we'll find you and we'll reply to you and tell you whether you're right or not.
That's your favourite. Yeah, go on.
That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time when we'll be doing a top 5 of the show that brings you... What was it? Redefining the edge of the box.
Have you forgotten? Yes.
Who's the redefining? I was going to say reimagining.
No, you
redefining
can't reimagine the edge of the box.
The edge of the box.
You redefine it.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
It's a wonderful waste of time.